Greetings and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice of life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. We're going to go around and say hi to everyone. We have yet another guest this week, and we're going to introduce everyone. So folks can say who you are and who you're playing. And we shall start with Djinnaya. Hello.
Hello, my name is Djinnaya, and I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Shah Gamelan, who is an established gallant of the Order of Makers who cages adversaries.
Excellent. Excellent. And let us move on over to Wilde. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm Mild Engineer, and I am playing Shantano, an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splinters into fragments. They use they/them pronouns.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm messing with people in chat. Excellent. And now let's see. Let's see how I've got this. Okay, yeah. So because I had to rearrange things a little bit, we are now going to say hello to Danielle. Hello.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Vormera Vanas. Vormera is a connected ardent of the Order of Weavers who shepherds minds.
Okay, awesome. And now let us go over to Anino. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns. My character is Mac the Husk, itinerant enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica, who provides a vessel for spirits.
Excellent. And now, today, our guest who we have over, Ethan. Hello.
Hello, I'm Ethan. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing June, who uses they, them, and is an iconoclastic ardent apostate who uses Nightmare to a Fist.
Yes, good. That's
to punch
important.
things. I have to punch something. That sentence just means there's something to punch.
Yeah, it does. It totally does. You might have something to punch shortly. We'll have to see how this goes. Before we get into all of that, though, like we do with most games on this channel, we'll be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it, or we'll put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. So, things happened last time. Who did we have here last time?
Kiana.
We had Kiana, and I know that Mac was here and Shantano was here, and then also it was Arushka that was here. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Mac and Shantano are the only ones coming over from last time. All right. So yes, last time we had there was a visit to the Home of the Forgotten. Where they sort of saw it in more of its aspect as kind of a thing that was kind of a mental wellness thing, a sort of a satellite of the Calivan house in another part of the city. That is a place where Vizsli who are have had an experience basically where their sanity is having difficulty, and they're basically take them there. And it's basically, they only usually put them there if there is a point where they're becoming a danger to themselves and others. And with Vizsla, that means that a lot of their things manifest that are in their head. They put them in the Home of the Forgotten because there is this effect in the way that it is set up that allows it to bleed off memories, section them off. And it also makes it easier through therapy to manifest memories and deal with them. And so that's kind of what Mayfair was there for, the person they went to visit. They do not normally allow visitors, but they a couple of them, Aroshka and Shantano basically, kept the guard busy, while Mac and Aurelia went over and talked to Mayfair in her room, and she revealed a number of things. We say she revealed a number of things. It was actually this litany that they were able to hear that was coming out. And I'm actually going to go ahead and repeat that because I have it here. So let me go ahead and repeat here what it was that was said. And I can give this to you. I can give this to you also in text if you need, because Aurelia wrote it down. Aurelia has excellent memory and then has the ability to speak things out and just have it turned into print. So that was very helpful. She cried. This was a message that was stated. Axon is the street is Axon. Now the street doesn't exist to hide from the Seeker. Now that the magic has been loosed, you just need to grab hold of it and reverse it. The street needs to exist. The Seeker needs to not exist. You remember because Axon wanted you to. Find the looking glass in Alistair's shoe. The looking glass will reverse it. The looking glass, help Axon, please. And that is the message. I'm going to go ahead and this time I'm going to put it in Roll20, just so that will be visible to folks. That was the message that was received, and they then quickly got out of there. The sky is still terribly overcast afterward, but what I'd like to know is if folks wanted to, they were able to take time to rest if they needed to again heal up from whatever. And I think that among various things, so that evening, Mac, did you go back and crash at Shaw's place?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. And I just kind of, just as far as, just so I'll have this in my mind, that evening, if you sort of broke up and went your separate ways, as you often do, Shantano, where did you end up heading? Was there anything in particular you wanted to take care of that night?
No, I think Shantano would have probably just gone back to their place and gone over the message, since they were reminded that they had needed to meet up with their friend.
Yes. Yeah. Alistair is the name of one of the folks who sometimes works at the pawn shop, so that might be who the message is referring to. So that's possible. Where did we leave Vor? And I don't want to make you have to say too much here, but if you like, I can try to guess.
I think I left after the train station.
Yes.
So I mean, if we want, we can say Vor was probably off dealing with some of the ramifications of that. She's starting to feel really bad about what she's sort of bullied Barry into accidentally.
Is there what sort of things does Vor do to deal with that kind of thing?
It's probably the gambling alligator.
No more gambling? Okay. Tony is very sympathetic. And we'll do this. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been given instructions not to hang a lampshade on this, but I can't remember why I have this thing that I have in front of me now. So I'm just going to do like I do with all such clues and drop it in and hope that it becomes something later. You will notice for a time that one of the people that plays against you and wins a little bit but doesn't win too much is wearing a pin that looks like this. You can probably see it better than the viewers at home can because there's a filter on, and right now it probably looks a lot like static.
Cool.
So it's a secret. But this is a mysterious individual who actually, it's hard to see their face. Their face is like permanently in shadow. That's probably due to something they did at a changery. This person seems to be like part shadow, and they're wearing what seems to be like a battered tuxedo and a top hat, and on their lapel they have that pin. They have this pin. They don't, it's not hugely remarkable. That's the most remarkable thing about them. But they do pretty well. And after the first time they win against you, they kind of pointedly seem to stop winning against you. But they take a significant amount of Tony's money before they head off. So Tony is kind of a little miffed about that, but he's keeping his temper under control on it. In any case, so that's what happens that evening. Shah. So we know where you left off because
Indeed.
there was a whole exchange that happened after that after the flux in that spell happened and you were blasted off to this place. You're not sure how much time you spent. You spent some of it unconscious. But you're going to come back. You're going to come back the next morning and find you're sort of, it's like sort of just after dawn. And you're going to find, you're sort of wandering around and you see that, you find your way back to the mine. And it's not like you haven't slept. You kind of feel rested somewhat. But it's just the whole thing was a little harrowing. So you go into the mine and you head down. And so I think the first question is, I think there are a couple of people in your living room having breakfast right now. So I'd like to know what it is that you see. Tell us, Anino and Ethan, what is it that Shaw sees when she enters her living room?
June is in a red hoodie and tight jeans. Their sneakers are currently kicked off. On them, they have a bowl of salamandos, specifically fruity salamandos, which are salamanders that are wrapped into rings. You eat with a spoon.
Awesome.
Currently reading one of your textbooks on blacksmithing.
Awesome.
What do we see of Mac this morning?
Mac is actually sitting on cross-legged in front of the coffee table with two books open, and he's taking notes and being very studious and trying to ignore the stranger that is also in the space.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're not entirely sure if it's a manifestation of sort of the way that this place works, or if this is just another house guest that's supposed to be here. I feel like it's been one of those things where it's just been a little too awkward to say anything. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like Mac's under the impression that this person is probably just one of Shaw's nightmares that just manifested.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't sleep there last night, so there's probably not a lot of things that have shifted around. And I don't think that my trip to this weird gray space was a dream, so it's probably not manifested in my house.
No,
is that correct? Not. Okay. So I think that what we see from the other side is I think that you see the mine, the mine elevator door opens and Shaw is still just like a little bit disheveled from the fight in the train station. So I think her color is a little bit askew and like maybe a lock of her hair, which is usually very carefully covered, is like in her face, and she like her shoulders are slumped and she comes in the door like just looking like thank God, and she takes like 2 steps in and looks at the two of you and goes, I guess I have guests. And I think she walks over and picks, there's like vines growing across the kitchen counter, and she picks these perfectly cubical watermelon from the vines, and she slices it into pieces and she puts it on a plate, and she comes and sets it on the table, and then she just slumps into a chair, and that there's kind of this awkward silence in which you just hear like this intense ticking and creaking coming from inside her body, and every so often just this rattle coming from the cage that she's carrying.
So Mac is going to look up and just say, oh, hey, Shaw, did you have a hot date or something last night?
Last night? Oh, was I gone for a long time again?
Yeah, I haven't seen you in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh. What happened after the train station? Is everybody okay?
Well, I haven't seen Vor, but Shantano and Aroshka were doing all right, as well as that detective fellow. But yeah, quite a bit's happened.
Who is your friend?
He's going to look up and look at the person in the red hoodie. Oh, I completely thought that this was just a manifestation of your mind.
I don't...
Nope, I'm real.
Oh, wow. And I haven't even said a thing to you.
I didn't say anything to you either.
Yeah.
Still hasn't even broken eye contact from the book.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you from the Makers? Are you another blacksmith?
Oh, no. It's easiest to explain it this way. And June like jumps up and lifts open the couch cushion, and you can see a door handle.
Wait, has that always been there?
No, it moves around.
Oh. So it's not going to stay there?
No, it's temporary.
Oh, thank you. I very much appreciate guests, especially when they know when it's time to be on their way.
I don't know when, this just sort of happens.
Most things in the universe tend to happen the way that they should. I just wanted to say that I do appreciate that. I'm Shah Gamelan. You're in my mine.
Oh, it's a very nice mine. I'm June.
Nice to meet you.
Would you like some salamandos?
Do they squiggle in your mouth? I don't like that.
I don't know. I usually just kind of bite into them. They're crunchy.
I think I'll stick with the watermelon, which you're welcome to if you like. I grow them here, they're organic.
Oh, not enough protein.
Very well.
Sits back down.
So what happened while I was gone?
So, Shantano and I, as well as I think Aroshka was there, we got shunted into an alternate time period or time space around the station, and we discovered some information about.
I just want to briefly, and as my brain is suddenly linking up things with other things before you proceed, I think probably it wasn't it a thing I think in previous sessions where it's kind of been established to go and check on Shaw every now and then when she disappears for a few days, because she's done this before. So I think if you folks will allow me the narrative space for this, Vor and Shantano, if you wish, you can, at this point, have decided it's time to do that again, and just sort of head over to the mine. Would you like to do that? Is that...
Yeah, if I can, I'd like to come in just as Mac is talking about the alternate reality we visited at the train station.
That's the that's kind of what I was thinking.
Like,
so
that was my fault.
Yeah. So what you're going to hear basically is, so as Mac, as you're starting to talk about this, sort of the bell rings, and Shaw, do you have to like let them in to for them to use the elevator, or can they just come down?
I think that there's like a lock switch that she can put to lock the elevator, but it's not locked right now because clearly it's guest hosting time.
Okay. So yeah, the elevator's coming down, and Shantano and Vor are in it. You can kind of hear this conversation going on. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so we got shunted off into this alternate reality space around the station, in which the station was actually built out. It's very weird. Learned a little bit more about what went on, about what Mefra and Axon were working on, and then I got into a fight. Or more like I sucker punched someone.
Good job.
Yeah, no.
Was it a good punch?
It was more of a throwing knife, actually.
That's not a punch.
It was a very good throwing knife.
It had a nice arc to it. But, oh, hey, Vor. I haven't seen you in a bit either.
Hey, I just taking care of some stuff. Nice to see you back, Shaw. Is everything okay with the thing in the cage?
I think so. Seems pretty securely in there. I think she will pull the cover off the cage, and you can see sort of a smaller shifting version of the thing inside the cage, like being generally unhappy.
This little thing with clocks all over it.
Oh,
annoying. Yeah.
Can I say that Vor went and had Meme's stones set into a necklace?
Oh, absolutely.
In my downtime?
Yeah, you've had time.
Yeah, so while she's looking over to see the thing in the cage, she's sort of like absentmindedly fingering this really lovely necklace she has now.
Like, oh, is that the thing that... is that the thing that I didn't get to see because I was busy guarding the outside of the station?
Oh yes, this is my new friend. Pet. Maybe something in between. I caught it. It's a nemivore. It eats memories.
Oh, that sounds very pleasant.
It's feeding. It's not a super fun experience, but it is an experience.
Oh, I'm sure the rectifier would love that.
The rectifier doesn't need to know anything about it.
Well, I'm not going to tell him.
Like so many things, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, what they don't know won't hurt them. Or anybody else. I've got this.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it was the interaction with your new friend or what happened, but I did not slide back in time. I slid somewhere else with Aroshka. But the only thing I really came back with, which you think I would have come back with more with how long I was gone. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time, but I did come back knowing that apparently the Numa have one of the designs that I made for the makers, but I'll be damned if I can think of what it is. So I don't know, but somehow that's going to play into all of this, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I missed a lot. She'll just sit down and cross her arms and then pull out her viewfinder things. She's like, I'm so behind on work. And she'll just start going through sketches.
I came down with everyone else, right?
Yeah.
I think Shantan would be like, well, if you're forgetting things, you probably missed the right amount.
Do y'all have a forge in here? Sorry, you're talking. Never mind. Goes back into the book.
So the rest of you went to the House of Forgotten, right?
Yes. Shantano, Arochka, and I went. With a very helpful Vance. It was very strange.
Anything interesting there?
I found Mayfra there. She wasn't very talkative, but she just told me that and Mac is just going to reach into his pocket and pull out the note that the Vance friend had spit on with all of the words, and just repeat the information, which is in my notes. So, Axon is a street, street is Axon. They're hiding from the Seeker.
I wonder if that's the thing we saw.
Vor, because this is something that has kind of been branded into your memory, I'll just go ahead and remind your player that you did see a vision at one point whilst you were on the Mime's boat. It appeared in a mirror that on the wall that apparently was illusionary. It was in your head. Mm-hmm. But you saw this woman in a straitjacket leaning forward.
Oh.
And you tried to get in touch with her mind, and there was a massive flood of information, and you were just able to barely make out the first line, which was Axon is the street, and that is what they're telling you also. This
Forgotten
woman
about
Mayford was
that.
saying.
Thank you for the reminder. Okay, yeah. I wonder if the Seeker is that spirit ghost thing.
That ugly abomination that
Yeah.
beat up my polar bear guard.
Mm-hmm. It does seem to be hanging around that area.
It is. So one of the other clues that I got was that we need to find the looking glass. It's hidden in Alistair's shoe.
Sorry about that. Do we know an Alistair? Do you know an Alistair?
I think that some of you know that there's an Alistair who spends some time in the pawn. Does anyone here spend a lot of time at the pawn shop? Anyone may feel free to raise their hand at this point if you feel as though you spend time in the pawn shop.
I know an Alistair.
Sure.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Runs the pawn shop.
Yeah. He has a couple of businesses. The pawn shop is one of them. You remember that much. You know that he also has he also has a shoe store.
Yeah. Weird guy. Lots of businesses. Lots of weird jobs.
Such as?
That's
Weird in that they're really mundane. Pawn shops, shoe shops. Only Alistair I can think of in town.
well, I suppose that's where our next stop would be.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have a ritual to do.
I don't think we have all the things.
Shantano, I'm actually going to say that this morning, probably before coming over, you were able to pick up that final leaf of gratitude from the store, so you do have it.
Well, I have the thing. I mean,
Oh, you have all the parts for
he
the
whispered in
ritual
Mac.
now?
He was like, "Didn't we want to do it down here anyways?"
I don't know that that's a good idea. We don't want to spider Shaw's mind.
Well, whose house can we do it in? He's gonna look at you.
Think it's Karen's house?
Wait, what?
I mean, we could ask Karen, I guess. It's gonna. Do we have enough? Do we have enough courage to do that?
I wasn't planning to ask personally, although I suppose we could do that.
June kind of leads into the conversation. Are you guys about to do some crime?
Light trespassing, maybe.
Breaking and entering?
Possibly. Depends.
June pulls out from their hoodie a set of lockpicks.
Oh, I like you already. Hi,
I
I'm
mean-
Thor, by the way. I don't think we've met.
June.
Nice to meet you.
May not be a bad idea. I have heard it was easier to ask for forgiveness than permission before.
See, Sean?
But this is Karen we're talking about.
I mean, we can handle Karen. There's 5 of us.
I mean, at worst, maybe we have to do a presentation to the
4 of us.
HOC.
Oh, crap.
I mean, I'm just really concerned about that homeowners association.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why you should have a home that moves around.
Yeah.
Oh,
If the home
Yeah.
does spider, then there'll be less houses for us to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, June, I'm gonna say you've heard of the homeowners association. It is scary.
Yeah.
Karen's cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I don't technically own my home, so I'm not part of the association.
Yeah.
I don't live in this neighborhood. Just get off my back. I mean, where else are we gonna perform this? It's not happening in my home. I like my home.
I don't even know where Roshka lives, so I guess that's out. And truth be told, Karen's cul-de-sac is, just 2 or 3 blocks. But do we want to do the ritual now, or do we want to actually go and chase down Alistair first? Because if he has this looking glass, apparently all we need is the looking glass to reverse the spell.
Yeah, but I mean, how many Alistairs are there in a city this size? We have nothing that says this is necessarily the right one.
Well, I don't see how it wouldn't hurt for us to check.
No, I'm not saying that we shouldn't go check, but I don't necessarily think we have to go there first.
Well, I mean, what if the ritual goes wrong and then we have to deal with a bunch of spidered furniture again?
Leave. That's why we're not doing it in our house.
Just gonna leave? That sounds... Okay, I'm okay with that, actually.
I mean, Karen probably won't get mad at me. I'm almost tenured at the school.
It's true. You can still sort of very faintly hear the curriculum, and if you concentrate.
All right.
I'm open down to do whatever. I'm here for the
I mean, worst
I
comes to
mean, so
worst,
long as...
If worst comes to worst, we just have to fight spiders again.
Ooh, I'm in. I can tag along, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, you have the lock picks, so. And Mac is just gonna look around for Shaw, and just be like, "Oh, she must have gone to do some grocery shopping." So, we should probably just do it now, and then we'll come back and have snacks.
We'll leave a note.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see Shaw either. Shaw is either busy doing something or something else has happened. So we're gonna go ahead and let me see here. Yeah, no, we're already good. Yeah. So where are you? Where are you headed to? Are you headed off somewhere? What are you headed to do?
I think we're gonna go to Karen's cul-de-sac.
We're gonna do the ritual.
We're gonna do a ritual, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, but before we do that, I'm actually going to go and summon a spirit.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm just fixing a couple things real quick so that I can take care of some stuff. All right, where do you want to head to summon the spirit?
I'll just do it outside of the mine on the sidewalk.
All right. Cool. What kind of spirit are we looking for here?
I am going to do a guard summoning.
Okay, all right. We already kind of went over some of that after a bit, so let me go ahead. I'm just going to draw a card here real quick, so that I can pick up a bit of flavor here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, and you can hear Shaw banging around in the background. And let me go ahead then and get this drawn here. Sorry, doing let's see, 90 million things. There it is. Card! Okay. Alright. And we'll transition over. And we shall see what is on the card. And... oh. This is the misremembered dream. Which is blue is up, red is down. It's the one of mysteries. Its meanings are confusion, mistakes, change in identity. Dreams are strange constructs out of our subconscious, made stranger still because we don't remember them clearly. Some say that in shadow, people's dreams seem strange because they're remembering the actuality. And the actuality, people's dreams resemble the mundanity of the gray. This is at least in part true, but of course, like anything having to do with the deepest reaches of the mind, it's much more complex than that. The line between memory and dream is already tenuous, but the memory of a dream or the dream of a memory, who can count on that? All right. Yeah, so you're going to go ahead and start your summons here. And...
We'll go with we'll go with a level 2. So
level 2?
It'll cost me. Yeah.
All right, excellent. So everything swirls around for a moment. And you can see it looks like essentially a cat, but it is human-sized and it's upright. It's actually it's a cat wearing kind of a cat wearing what looks like fencing gear, basically, sort of from the neck down. It's very strange. And it looks up. It's you can see it looks kind of like a jaguar. Basically, it's sort of its face as it sort of lifts its mask, and it looks around and it bows to you.
Mac will bow back. I'm sorry, did I catch you in the middle of a bout?
Just finished.
Oh, okay. My name is Mac the Husk. I am in need of a guard. My associates, he gestures over to Shantano, June, and Vor, are going to attempt a ritual after we find the proper location. And then, there's a chance of spidering, so I just wanted someone to assist with an escape if things should go awry.
Understood. Very good. And it just sort of looks over. We would do well if perhaps, would it be, might I ask for you to share a memory with me? Would that be acceptable to you?
A memory of my choice?
Yes.
Would you prefer a happy one, or are you into something a little bit on the darker side?
Well, it will help me to tune up, as it were, whatever its flavor is, the way in which I can train, if that makes sense.
Fair enough, I suppose. And he'll share the memory, actually, of he and what's the name of the polar bear guy? Sir Godfrey, battling at the house during that last spidering event, in which they were, I believe they were destroying an armoire.
Ah, yes, that's right. Doing battle against a very dangerous armoire. Curses! Curses! We're working on it, folks. We're working on it. Back to this. Yes. And so, yeah, that's... it's like, perfect. Very good, very good. Excellent. Thank you. Yes, this will help a great deal. Very good. That's that was all that I required. I shall accompany you.
Oh, thank you. And he's just going to glance over the jaguar and look to see what kind of sword he was fencing with.
Yeah. It looks, when you look at it, the funny thing is, sort of as you're looking at it, it changes a little bit into something. It was like a long thin blade, and now he sort of turns it, and there's this sort of rainbow sheen off of it, and now it looks more like a cutlass.
Oh, that's fancy. It's better than my knife.
And he bows again. Thank you, I appreciate it. It adapts to the situation, and he sets it at his side. Very well. You may call me Tiravan.
It's a pleasure.
And he will step out. At this point, again, only Mac can see Tiravan unless he wants to manifest. He's level 2, so he could probably, if you want him to be seen, he'll make an effort to be seen. But it's kind of up to you. It's not going to draw on him or anything. He'll just appear sort of translucent. And so you folks get up outside the mine. You see Mac just sort of standing off to the side, kind of talking to something. You're not sure what it is. But as you come out, there are you've got the sort of the scent of apprehension is in the air. Probably carried by the birds that appear on the various buildings and such around. Is that they carry the sense of these various emotions. There's a lot of apprehension and questioning. Seems to be in the air right now. The tower the foreman's tower still is standing still. Mac, you sort of glance over and you see the sort of Eidolon-like creature that's sort of the Tetris-like creature still revolving around it, not really saying anything right now. Still holding on. So yeah, would you up to the north, you see the road rising up to the cul-de-sac.
And some stretches real quick before we set out.
My preparations are ready.
All right, let's go.
All right.
I'll start heading that way.
Ooh. Okay. Excellent. All right.
On the way, I am going to cast a spell on myself.
All right. What do you want to do?
I cast Flesh Mail. Which basically just gives me an armor point. So, until after a fight.
What does flesh mail look like?
So, you can cast the spell and then their skin for a moment like sheens like metal and then disappears.
Nice.
And just like back into the skin.
Awesome. I approve. Yeah.
Look, you said something about spidering and the homeowners association, and we're doing a breaking and entering, so
B&E plus spidering, it's kind of, yeah.
It's always good to be prepared.
Yeah.
look, you're talking about like throwing knives earlier. I'm just getting ready.
It's good. Yeah. Just so folks know, unfortunately, Djinnaya's internet is out right now. But she's trying to get it back. Hopefully we'll get her back, but it may not be possible right now. So we're just going to head on. You head up the road up to the cul-de-sac. You have about a dozen houses. No, it would be more appropriate for me to say there are 9 houses in this cul-de-sac. And you're not sure right now which one is occupied. So let me just ask, June, have you ever appeared in any of these houses before, do you think, or no?
No, I try to stay away from this place. It's spooky.
It kind of is. It is devastatingly normal looking.
Yeah, it's way too gray.
Yeah. It is. This is very much like... this is very much a gray thing. That it's like you've never seen this much material brought back from the gray before.
Right.
This is like it's an entire freaking cul-de-sac. Or it's built to look like it, at least. It's hard to tell. So, you have 9 houses from which you can choose. They're in a sort of rough circle around you. Obviously, the circle is broken by the pathway off to the left, off to the west in the cul-de-sac that leads to the school, up here on sort of a hilltop. The cul-de-sac itself is floating in midair, but the path leads to a hilltop. These things happen. Is there a particular thing that you're looking for, a particular kind of house you want to get to? Because the houses are not identical.
Hmm?
Hmm?
Are they all Karen's house? Like, are the rest of them abandoned and Karen just lives in one?
Well, Karen switches up which one she's in at any given point.
Gotcha.
Different day, different house. Different... Karen dresses differently and, to a certain extent, behaves slightly differently depending on which house she's in. Also dresses her child slightly differently. You've spent enough time, though, that you think you've probably hit it where she's taking her child to school at this point. So she's probably not in any of the houses right now. But there's only one she'll be coming back to when she returns in half an hour, maybe?
8 out of 9 is good odds. I'd say we just pick one at random.
I can give you more detailed descriptions if you want them. I will say that the houses are each very much it's very much sort of Middle America type house. Looks like houses from like the 70s and 80s type deal. For those familiar with the gray, very much each one has a sort of a seems to have a garage and like a front door. And sort of lawn patio type deal. So it each has its own square, but there are variations. Go ahead.
What color is the ritual we're casting?
Good question, Shantno. You have the book?
If you can remind me the name of the ritual, I will go and yank it up.
Right. The ritual is...
There's 9 houses. We might as well pick the right color.
It's the Beseech invocation.
Beseech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent.
Also, I don't like that there's 9 houses.
I'm pretty sure Jim did that on purpose.
I know.
Did I?
We might have to pick Karen's house.
All right. Beseech. Invocation. Sorry.
What does that even mean?
Jen.
Beseech is a pale invocation.
Okay.
So that might give you...
They're a pale house.
Pale is 6?
The house with that seems the there's a house with columns. They're sort of white like bleached bone. If you count around, you count to the 6th house. It's still, it's just the color, I should mention. I mean, it looks like, wooden beams, that kind of deal. They've just been painted very white, very pale. White shutters. White front door, white garage. White garage door. Brick house.
That one?
I guess lucky number 6.
I still don't really know what we're doing, but probably fitting.
Let's go for it. Why not?
I mean, what's the worst that could... Well, never
Don't
mind.
say that.
The worst that could happen is every single one of these bricks turns into a spider.
I feel like there's probably even worse things, but let's really not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
If you're really worried,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk up to the house and try the handle and see if it's locked.
So, yeah, you go up, and it is locked.
Right? I will turn around and look at June and say, want to put those lockpicks to some good use?
Yeah. June will wrap them in their fist and then punch the lock on the door. actually have training in the lockpicks. I just picked them up.
That's wonderful. This is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to say that this door we're going to call this this door level 5. This house is a level 5 house. To do things to. So what would you like to use on this door?
Well, I technically have breaking objects.
Excellent. That'll work.
And I can put a point of physicality into it.
Okay, so that'd bring it down to 3.
And I have something called Telestic Strike, which just means I do more damage with attacks.
Oh, holy crap. What kind of thing is that? Where's that from?
That is my apostate stuff.
Oh, okay. So it just works. It doesn't actually have a.
Oh yeah, no. I deal an additional 2 damage with any attack.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll help. Well, then in that case, yeah, it's. I think since this is a door that can't really fight back very well, at least not in its current state, we'll go ahead and. Mm-hmm.
I should mention my fists do 6 damage.
I'm gonna, yeah, okay.
And when I punch things, my hand screams a little bit like those old Nerf whistle balls.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, I think we're just going to say then, given that new information, you just bash the door in, because I don't think it's gonna. it's not gonna make it.
Just punch the lock right out.
Yeah, the lock. The lock is out.
Lock's picked.
You certainly have a way with lockpicks.
So pointy. Put them away.
So.
All right, I will peek ahead in just to make sure that there's nothing immediately waiting to jump out at us.
Well, now is the time for me to figure out which house Karen is using today. So I'm going to draw another card, and so the great thing about this is, for you, this is a win-win, because if I happen to draw a pale card, yes, it's true, this is the house Karen will be staying in, but the magic will be easier. So it's a possibility. Okay. So let's see. What did we get? We got the revealing knife! So pale magic is up! Congratulations!
All right.
Green magic is down. This is the Eight of Visions. Its meanings are revelation, discovery, and finesse. We've had the revealing knife recently. Just in divination, when it's turned, it suggests that careful, precise action is required for what lies ahead. And secrets might be revealed here. Okay.
Good thing I got the punching done before the card was drawn.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, you get into this house, and inside, it looks very much like this is appallingly normal in here. The walls are painted white. There is a white sofa with the packaging, the plastic still on it. There is a television set up by a fireplace. It looks as though the fireplace has been used. There are ashes in the fireplace. Just sort of as you're looking around. There's a coffee table with a bunch of magazines on it. And you see there are a couple of portraits up on the wall. One is of Karen, who basically looks like neurotypical Karen, with the haircut and everything. And there is a portrait of Karen's generic child, who basically has their hair slicked back and is wearing a button-down shirt, a white button-down shirt. And it looks like a very standard home. But it does look as though it is perhaps currently being lived in. There's no one here right now, though.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, we should probably work fast.
Yeah, let's go find a room that's not immediately upon entering the house. And
Yeah, this place is unsettling. Let's get this done.
find out like maybe a room upstairs or something. And
Let's do it in the master bedroom.
why not?
There's the most space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there are a couple of bedrooms, and the main bedroom, you see just basically this. You see a bed. You see a couple of you see a couple of nightstands. There's a clock on one of the nightstands. You see there's a dresser. And it's a dresser that with if this were the gray, there would be a mirror in it. But right now there's the frame for a mirror, but no actual mirror.
Oh, does the bedroom window face out to the street?
Let's see. Well, let's see. Front door coming back. Yeah, there is a window you can see the street from. You kind of have to lean a little bit, but you can see the street. It doesn't face it, but you can. If you stand in the right place, you can see the street.
Yeah. All right. That's where Mac is going to set up and just keep an eye out discreetly.
Okay. Yeah. So you're keeping watch. And
Shantano's going to start preparing the ritual like right on the bed.
Okay. This is a good place for it. All right. Beseech, invocation. You have your incense. You have your vellum inscribed with this. That's still. It's not been used up, so it's still got. It's the history on it is a little murky.
And I added a poem to it.
Oh, you added a poem? What kind of poem did you add? Please tell me.
Well, we found one from in the cafe.
You're right. Yes, that's right. Okay, so you transcribed the poem onto the vellum.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Okay, excellent. Very smart. That was a very good idea.
The Ballad of Lady Igthamad.
Oh boy. You have your 3 leaves of gratitude. Now here's the thing. I do need to point out. You did say you need to do this quickly, right? So this takes 4 hours preparation and 1 hour performance.
It's fine.
Well, now here's a question: can Shantano have done the 4 hours preparation ahead of time, and then we just spend an hour? Doesn't specify that the preparation has to take place at the site of the ritual.
That's true. That's true. We could say that. This might only take an hour. We could say Shantano has already done the prep. If you like. That's certainly doable. That seems reasonable. So you have this ritual will take an hour to cast. Is there anything special anyone wants to do during the casting of this ritual?
I lock the door. The bedroom door.
The practitioner calls upon a higher power named in the performance, offering gifts in the form of emotions. The practitioner asks for a specific favor. The favor can be anything, but to have a chance at success, the favor should be something within the power of the being and something the being would do in theory. No ethical barriers. Okay. So I need to know who... Who's casting and what are you asking for?
Okay.
What are you asking Igthamad for?
Did it say what they were asking for in the journal?
Aid. It's just that they were performing the ritual.
Just they were trying to get help for dealing with the Seeker of Souls.
Maybe we can ask them to find the Seeker for us.
Okay.
Are we sure we want to do that? Can't we just ask them to make the Seeker go away?
Or something, yeah.
Ask them to take care of the Seeker?
So.
By take care of, you mean...
Destroy.
Yeah, okay.
Dispose of.
That might be better words. I don't know much about goetic stuff, but gotta
This is not a goetic invocation.
Very specific words.
I mean, sometimes it's better to leave things up to interpretation.
Yeah, that's not how to deal with spirits. Just speaking as a goetic. Otherwise, we'd probably have to deal with some spidering.
I was gonna say, I think we know at this point that that Igthamad is a true spider. So reasonable to assume knowledge is a good thing to ask for as well.
How to deal with the thing?
Yeah, if they
how to neutralize the Seeker of Souls.
I think that's a good ask.
So, you are about 45 minutes into this ritual when, Mac, you see at a distance, coming up the little dirt path from the hilltop. This is on the far side of the cul-de-sac. You see the figure of Karen. Hair in its strange, permanent, almost, not exactly permed, but it's that haircut that I don't know if I can adequately describe without going insane. But it's the haircut that's asking for your manager. And she's wearing a very nice sort of kind of ecru and burgundy blouse today. And she's walking she's walking into the cul-de-sac, so you spot her at this point.
He's gonna motion Vor over.
I'll come over to the window if I'm not otherwise occupied.
Karen's on her way back. I don't suppose there's have any suggestions on how we can push her or delay her a bit? Hey, can that fancy pet of yours just a memory of which house that she's supposed to return to?
It doesn't quite work like that. Let me think for a moment.
Do you need?
I mean, the only other idea is to punch her. Get a puncher.
Oh, no. Hang on.
Does she duel? Do you need me to duel her?
Well, I specifically asked you to guard. I mean, if you want to interpret this.
Should she come to the room? Do you need? Should she come up? So I shall still guard, of course. But should it be necessary, I can duel her. I can do a few other things to her if she arrives, or attempt to.
Maybe you can.
For Mara? Meet me downstairs. We're gonna go move all the furniture.
Okay.
Just displacing everything, turning all the pictures sideways, pushing all the furniture in the wrong direction, tipping all the houseplants over, filling the sink with dirty dishes.
All right.
We keep her distracted.
I like it.
All right. I'll send my bodyguard down to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
I mean, yes, the door's broken, but
If possible, as we're doing all of this, as we're like making the lower floor as disheveled as possible, I'd like to put a little bit of Weaver oomph into it. Almost making it sort of an enchantment that she has to deal with this. So I have, I'm gonna weave challenge and diamond. So from challenge, I'm going to take obstacles, and from diamond, I'm going to take gravity.
Let me grab up my effects by levels thing here.
And it's I don't necessarily want to, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
make this like something that it's not, but I'm trying to make it so enticing that she absolutely has to deal with it now.
Since this is actually going to be for an effect on Karen, so the challenge is really going to be her challenge rating. So, some time ago, I decided Karen's challenge rating.
Oh no.
Would you like to know what it is now?
It's 10. I bet it's 10.
It's 10, isn't it?
It's not 10. It is 8.
Lord.
I mean, the good news is if you're casting like a spell, you get to subtract the spell level from it.
This is true. So let me see. Let me go ahead and get my effects by my level of effects thing here. And so,
Does Vor still have that refilling champagne flute? Because I feel like she could just spend an endless amount of champagne everywhere.
That's true. I should do that. That's a great suggestion. I'm just gonna throw champagne on all the sofas, all the drapes.
Oh, everything's gonna be so sticky.
Exactly.
so what kind of can you again tell me what kind of magic you're employing here? You said that
Yeah, I'm weaving challenge and diamond for my aggregates. I'm using obstacles from challenge and gravity from diamond.
So you want things to just basically continue to move around chaotically? Is that kind of what we're saying?
No, I'm not even doing that. I just want it to be. Essentially want it to be that she can't ignore this. Like she comes in and this like sucks up all of her attention, and she can't do anything else until she's dealt with this problem.
Gotcha. Make it all so very entrancing, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like a gravity to make it so obstacle for obvious reasons, and then gravity to make it so that she can't.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, causing a creature to flee is level 3.
Okay.
So I think that, yeah, deafen creature, cause creature to lose next turn. This is feeling very level 3-ish. Urge to clean. Yeah, it isn't quite mind control, which is sort of more level 4-ish. So yeah, I think we're gonna settle on 3.
Okay.
For the effect the effective level. So that'll already knock it down to 5.
Okay.
What else is being put toward this? June is helping, so June can throw things in as well.
I don't have any kind of magic for this.
Well,
I can catch things on fire, but I don't think that'd help.
Well, you're also messing up the house. So I mean, if you want to just include that, I mean,
yeah, I'm just offering the one help.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So that'll knock it down to a 4 at least.
okay. I have my my skills and charm, which I don't know if it would be applicable here, but it is sort of a charming her by way of getting her to engage with the situation.
So I can see there being like you have kind of a knowledge of the way things should look in a proper home.
Yeah.
And so you're doing the opposite of that.
Correct.
So you have 3 levels in that, right?
This is like the reverse of feng shui.
Yeah.
I have 1 level in this.
You have one level in anti-feng shui. So that'll knock it down to a 3.
Okay. Do I have 2 dice for this since it's a magical effect?
Quick question. Yeah, is that right, Ethan?
Yes. Anytime you cast a spell, you automatically get a free dice.
Excellent. I had hoped that was the case. I've been sort of leaning in that direction. Some spells say you do, some don't. So I've been.
If it doesn't say it, it's because it doesn't require a roll.
Okay, that would make sense.
Okay, so I'm at level. I need a 3, and I have 2 dice.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Those are pretty good odds.
All right.
All right, let's try it.
We sit with bated breath.
Oh, look at that.
So the good news is that that's the first die, so it's not flux. That could have been flux.
Flux would have been fun.
But, oh yeah, especially in this situation. We are casting a spell on all of the objects in the house whilst upstairs a ritual is being cast that had previously caused spidering while trying to communicate with the true spider. Just a thought. But thankfully you did not get flux on this one. So yes, you've cast this ritual. Mac, as you've been looking out the window, sort of watching, Karen has been is making her way around the cul-de-sac toward the house. She's stopping and talking to people that aren't there, kind of, which is a little weird. Well, it's not like even she's talking to them. It's like she's doing a ritualistic thing, as though she's greeting non-existent neighbors as she passes each house.
Mac is just going to utter, "Oh God, this is just so sad."
So she's gonna come. She's gonna make it up to the front door a little bit about when you're finishing the ritual upstairs. So let me go ahead and for this invocation. Do you happen to remember if we roll for invocations? Do we? It's a level 5, so I would assume that it would be you'd need a 5 to get it. All right, either that or we're trying to. This is really more just to contact a thing. I don't think you're trying to do anything to Igthamad per se. Just opening a thing. I mean, you went to all this trouble. So
is it like an invocation like the card invocations?
Yeah, it's these are the invocations. This is actually an invocation that's in the way.
Okay. Typically, unless it states like I said, if it has a dice attached to it, then it's usually something you roll. But otherwise,
but if it doesn't, all right. Yeah, this doesn't have a die attached to it, so I think you're just going to do it, which I'm fine with. Okay. You folks have finished, and you're coming back upstairs to see this thing getting completed. On the bed, if the practitioner gains the attention of the being, we'll say that that's they will not physically manifest, but will arrive as a disembodied spirit. Usually, the being will ask questions to gain clarification as to what the Vizsla wants them to do and why. I'm going to draw another card. Because I just want to see what happens. This is very important. Oh, look at that. Okay. So the card that we've drawn is the Raven. This is the Companion of Secrets. A raven's weakness is greed and jealousy. It wants what you have. And some sort of craft. It's very crafty. So this, you see this what looks like a sort of a ghostly spider now manifesting on the bed. It's almost the size of the bed at the moment. Sort of clacking. It's got mandibles that clack. It's big, sort of, kind of pale looking. And it turns. Who dares ask about the Seeker?
We do.
Ah, it brims with life and chaos. Change. This is interesting.
Do you know how to neutralize the Seeker?
I have heard things. There is a way. There is a way. It must be. It is a very sad being, a very lonely being. In what way do you want to neutralize it? What do you mean? What do you want to do to it?
We want it to give up its search.
Prevent it from finding someone.
The Seeker is a very... The Seeker is a very tricky thing. If you undo it, then other things may come loose. Are you prepared for that?
Well, we can't really let things stay the way they are.
What sort of things could come loose?
Ah. Well, therein lies a tale. But before I tell it, I would ask that one of you should afterward do me a favor.
Do you have a specific favor in mind, or is this the sort of owing you one style of favor?
I could ask for a piece of a particular thing. Yes, there is something I am interested in. It is a piece of a rather particular demon. Now, it need not be done immediately, but soon. You can fetch that for me. But I will, if one of you agrees to do that, then I will tell you all you wish to know of the Seeker. At this point, there is a scream from downstairs. It's a loud and long scream, and Igthamad is like,
June comes in through the door. The plan worked.
Tension. There is much tension here.
It's fine.
And you see one of the there's a little picture on the dresser, and it suddenly gets up and starts walking away.
Okay, so there's no need to be concerned. What is it that you need us to fetch?
Well, there's a piece of a demon in which I am interested. We can perhaps discuss the details later. It seems you don't have a lot of time right now, young ones. Is that agreeable?
Okay, I guess Shantano and Vor, as long as they're in with me on this, then
I'll help.
okay.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I know someone who can help.
Very well. The deal is made. And the voice echoes out for a moment. And the screaming stops downstairs, and it's like, huh? He just sort of leans forward. And Igthamad leans forward and she says, The Seeker is bound to its true love. It can never be with it because it is it. They are the one and the same. It can only temporarily be sated through the consumption of souls. To put it out of its misery, you must trade its existence for something else that has gone. This one is tied to a couple of things. But it's all about mirrors, this one. There is a particular looking glass that will do the trick, which must be obtained in a reflective manner. This looking glass, if held close to it for long enough, shall make the switch, and it shall be removed from existence.
And where would we find such a looking glass?
Well, that is a question.
Alistair.
But rather a different one, I'm afraid. And it seems that you're running out of time. And you can see that she's starting to seemingly shrink just a bit. And she's sort of, her image is wavering. And you hear the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs.
I was like, wait, which demon do we need to get a piece of?
I shall give you the details later. Now I know you. Shantano, Mac, Vormira. You'll hear from me soon. And it vanishes.
Oh man, I am racking up a big credit balance right now.
He's
I'm
nice.
not alone.
Window?
Window.
June jumps out a window.
Wolf follows.
Shatno's gonna grab the splattering picture and put it outside the door for
It's like you hear another scream just from the outside the door as you slam it shut. Like, ah! You all dive out the window, presumably.
Yes.
It's a second story window, but there is a tree nearby because she wanted to beautify this area. So it's you're a little worse for wear, but you sort of come out sort of tumbling out the window.
Pull leaves out of hair, sticks.
I feel like Shantano's not as athletic as you'd think they would be, and they kind of shatter as they hit the tree.
Oh my god! It breaks into pieces. Oh god!
Ooh, that looks bad.
It's all right. He'll pull himself together later.
I believe you.
And you dash off away from the sound of of extreme displeasure at that coming from Karen's house. And you manage to make your way away from it. You have congratulations. You now know what you need to do with the looking glass once you get it. And
look into the looking glass for X amount of time.
Well, she said it has to be held near the creature for a brief period of time, but it needs to. You have the impression, it's weird because the impressions were also entering your minds to an extent. That while she was vague, you kind of know exactly what she's talking about. It's like for about maybe 15 seconds. Not too long, okay. 15 to 20 seconds.
Well, then we can go pick up the mirror, and now we know what to do with it.
Mirrors.
What people playing this game might call 3 rounds.
Our mirror's bad though.
So we have. So you have successfully accomplished this, and I think, given the where we are time-wise, we're probably not going to hit a. I do have to apologize. It looks like we're probably not going to hit a person to punch within the amount of time that we have left.
I got a door.
But you did hit a door. So I will ask. Do you folks want to deal with the mirror right now, or do you want dealing with the whole Alistair thing right now, or do you want to save that for next time?
I will save that for next time.
Because you're kind of you were Danielle. You're muted there for a second. Sorry. You are. I can't hear you. So you're not muted, but I can't hear you. That's strange. We're having audio issues once again. Are you indicate in the affirmative or the negative? Are you okay with holding off till next time for Alistair? All right, cool, excellent. All right then. So you dash away from the terrifyingly normal cul-de-sac. Information now with you. I'm going to say that as you are dashing out, you will see that there is a how do I Jun, I'm going to say that there is a bit of a memory that gets jogged for you as you're thinking about what the true spider just said. It does involve that there are certain rituals of that Pneuma group that you remember. That could potentially, after things that you overheard that one time, you think, could you punch the soul out of someone? Possibly.
Oh yeah, no, I've tried. It's real hard.
Yeah, it's rough, but
it's hard to punch people into ghosts.
Yeah, there is a there might be if they actually complete this ritual, then then possibly whatever it is that this seeker creature they're talking about gets exchanged for might have more information along those lines that might make that process easier, possibly. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before we close up for the night? All right. Well then, we are at our end game, and we shall go back around and perform our outros as we now get ever closer to the end of this chapter, creeping closer every episode. We're gonna go in reverse. We will once again tell folks where they can find you and any thoughts you had about this session. And we will start with Ethan. Thank you so much for playing with us.
Yeah, thanks for letting me play. I've been running Invisible Sun, and I've not had a chance to actually play it at all. So this is fun. I got to punch a door, ruin someone's house.
It was great. That was beautiful. I loved that.
I'm Ethan. You can find me at Super Robot Bear on Twitter, where I talk about all the stuff that I do. I do game design stuff. I've written a couple games. You can find it there. If you like, my most recent one is like a mixture between For the Queen and the old board game Heroes Quest.
Ooh, nice.
Mashed together into a weird card dungeon crawl game.
Awesome. That sounds very cool. As has been the case with our previous guests, June continues to be part of the continuity, and you have you're on our Discord, so they can continue to interact with you. You can also, from time to time, we might even, if the plot goes in this direction, we might even have you back.
Need something punched.
Because punchery always is a good thing. There may be a need for punching pretty soon. We'll have to see, but so whether through side communication or through, sometimes we do development sessions just on various days. So you're still part of the continuity, still part of everything that's going on. So there's always an option for more stuff to happen in the future.
If you ever need a training montage,
yes,
I do.
Yeah, we can do training montages.
There's going to be a need for training montages soon. That's true. That's also true. We may need to talk about that.
One of the few furnishings June has in their home is a athletic training equipment.
Excellent. That is awesome. But thank you again so much for coming. This was June was very cool. I really liked them. But now let us move on to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. You could probably just be easier to go to my little landing page, aninogaming.com, to check the schedule and see what games I'm currently involved in. The next one you'll find me on is this coming Wednesday on Welcome to RPG. I think that's the name. In a homebrew campaign over there, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's it. This is fun. This was a fun episode. I always wanted to ruin Karen's day at some point.
Yes, and, you have succeeded.
I've been waiting for this since our first planning session. So.
Finally, and
finally,
what I love is that we still managed to keep that storytelling trope in where you sort of kind of see bits of Karen, but you don't actually encounter her. We've still not actually had her full in on camera. It's great, only in the distance. But you've heard her voice now, also. But that's about it. It is excellent. Okay, let's find out if we can hear Danielle.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yay!
Yay! Hello, I'm Danielle. I'm at Racontor on Twitter. You can find me there tweeting about all kinds of nerdy things. That includes games, books, movies, anything of that nature, video games. Definitely there. And I have a game that I'm playing on Saturday, earlier in the day on Saturdays now. Starting next week, that is going to be on Roll for Change's Twitch. And it is a Star Wars game called Vagabonds, which is we're running on the Fate system. So you should definitely come by and check all that out.
Very cool. Awesome. Any thoughts about the session?
I agree with Anino that I was hoping eventually we would get to screw up Karen's day. And so our little diversion downstairs was very fun.
That was so good. Awesome. And finally, Wilde.
Yes, hi. I'm Wild Engineer at Wild Engineer on Twitter. Aside from this on Saturdays, starting in February, I'll be playing a new D&D campaign on Pro Restarters channel. So yeah, that'll be before this, certainly, at 1 Eastern. I think so. Yeah, on Saturdays. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm a little sad that Karen's house didn't walk away, but
what I'm glad is you
finally another day.
You finally got to do the ritual that you've been holding on to, this invocation for so long, and you now have a connection to a true spider. So it's I think that's going to be very interesting, and is going to play into many, many more things as time goes on.
I'm sure nothing bad can happen from it.
Absolutely nothing bad will happen. Nothing bad ever happened from communicating with a true spider. Nothing. Also, I've put Djinnaya's Twitter link in the chat, so be sure to go and check out what she has going on, and hopefully her internet shall be repaired, and we shall see her again soon. But that leaves me. I'm Jim, I just pulled up my notes here. Before I do my outro, the thing that I forgot to do this time that I need to do, joy and despair. We need to go around and do that real quick. I feel like this was very cool. Finally getting this ritual and stuff done. So actually, I think I'm also going to award a point of acumen to folks for this session, because this is something I know you folks were driving at for quite a while. So I think that deserves it. I'm going to go ahead and go around again. The back. I'm going to go back around and just check with you each. Wilde, was there anything that today for Shantanu that you think might have merited joy or despair? What does the cat think? That's a good question.
The joy of cats.
The joy of cats.
The despair of cats in your camera.
The despair. Yeah, that's also true. You could get an entire crux from this cat right now. I unfortunately can't hear you right now.
Okay, how about that? There
yes,
we go.
got it.
Would we consider what the true spider told us to be finding out a secret?
Yes, nobody up until this point knew what the Seeker's motivation was. And now you know kind of the problem. The Seeker apparently was not always the way it is, and has been eternally bound as a single entity to its true love.
All right.
And that is why it despairs.
That would give me a joy then.
It will give you a joy. Yes, you get joy. The Seeker's despair is your joy. Danielle, is there anything with Vor this session that you think would merit a joy or a despair?
The only thing I can really think of is messing with Karen the way that we did, just because it was fun. Would be a joy.
I would approve that, just simply because Karen has been a shadow over this entire campaign. So, I'd give you a joy for that.
Awesome.
Anino, what about Mac?
No, I think he was pretty much in the background for this one. So.
Okay. All right. And Ethan, do you think June did anything that might earn a joy or a despair this session?
I got to do crime.
It's true, you did get to do crime. If that's like a motivation for June, which it
Oh,
seems
yeah.
to be, then yeah, I'd say you
Just
get a joy
wrecking
for
the
that.
system.
Yeah. I got to tell you, in this the homeowners association is major system here. Karen is like the closest. This is an unincorporated neighborhood, but it's the close. Karen is the closest thing the neighborhood has to a gerund.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely messing with the system.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Awesome,
Break
excellent.
the system.
So that's joy. All right. So once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, and YouTube channel. Hopefully I'm going to be changing things up down there, and there will be more links, but we'll get to that. Apparently I wrote a game recently. I should probably link to that soon. That's on itch.io/otherdoc if you want to find that. It's free. What am I doing? So on Monday nights, I am running Deadlands over on Tales from the Grim. We're back into that. The Road to Desperation. And they've actually made it to the City of Desperation now, and so things are going to get interesting. I think it's Tuesday, we're going to be doing a Tuesday evening tentatively. We're looking at doing a development mode session. If you want to come and check that out. For some in-between stuff. And then again, of course, right now still got a light schedule, so it's back around to Saturday and then more of this. So we will continue our as things get going. As we get later into the month, we're going to be ramping up the number of things on the channel. Toward the end of January, we have masks coming in. We're all getting ridiculously excited as we're putting our young superhero characters together. So that's going to be coming up. That powered by the Apocalypse game. Also in late January, we have Alyssa, who's going to be running Ghosts of Salt Maw, which is our dark matter adaptation of the Ghosts of Salt Marsh that we're going to be doing. Ghosts in Space. And I'm very excited for that. I've been putting costume pieces together, and so very interested to see where things go. Sign-ups will very soon be open. I've got I have now my schedule or the plan of upcoming one-shots and short campaigns, mini campaigns. Set up for the first half of 2020. That's on my Twitter. That is the pinned tweet on my Twitter. If you want to see what the overall schedule is. But very soon we're going to have signups open for a mini campaign next month of Apocalypse World. Finally going to try out Apocalypse World. I've been playing a lot of games descended from it. And so we're going to try that out. And then early in February, we're also going to be doing some one-shots of Fall of Magic. And so I've got I'm going to have sign-ups open for that. That will be on the website. You can go down there and click on RPG sign-up, or go to jimyesthatjim.com, click on Game Sign-up. It'll be there sometime soon. As always, beginners are welcome. Well, when we hit the end card, what shall we do? I'm going to send a raid over to... Who shall I send a raid over to? There's not a lot happening right now. But I do see, let's see, what do I have? We have, let's see, someone who's doing Monster Hunter, and then they've got, I think we just recently raided Devil's Luck, so I don't necessarily want to do that again so soon. So yeah, let's go and... Yeah, sure. Let's go scare the heck out of this person. No pulse of the wrist. This is a fellow that... Actually, are they even going? I can't see it. All right, in that case... Yeah, actually, it looks like they might be frozen. So never mind. We're going to go and... I'm going to send a raid over to somebody. Probably we'll just do Devil's Luck Gaming. So if you would like to hang on and say hi as we go over and say hi to them with us, feel free to. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, folks. Take care, and I will see you next week. Farewell.